Costco appeals to a slightly upper middle class consumer relative to some of its competitors like Walmart.
Been expected in December as high inflation and rising borrowing costs weighed on consumers.
Costco has decided to go against the grain and absorb the higher costs that manufacturers are charging them due to inflation.
I've always believed that nothing was worth an infinite price. If I were investing money, I would buy Costco at the current price.
Did you notice that the price of your groceries has gone up? Yes, it's something we're seeing through most of the globe. The cost of basic pantry staples had become so expensive that people started questioning whether they could even afford to eat anymore. So, what is behind the price increase? The increase in food prices isn't new, and it's not always surprising as it usually happens naturally. You can identify this by comparing the cost of a chocolate bar over the years. The gap between food prices in the past and present is largely a consequence of inflation of the US dollar, which undeviatingly drives up the cost. Usually this happens at a hardly noticeable rate that becomes obvious only when we view food price differences over many years or decades. Costco wholesalers have become synonymous with condiments when it comes to US people. Costco was established in 1983 in Seattle, Washington, and became the most popular shopping destination for millions of members looking to save money on bulk items and household essentials. The news of the Costco price hike had spread like wildfire, and people started realizing that they had to brace themselves for the impact on their grocery budget. The once affordable prices at Costco had become a thing of the past, leaving people wondering how they could afford to shop there anymore. Shoppers have condemned Costco for apparently hiking prices on favorite grocery items. Inflation continues to affect retail locations everywhere, forcing shoppers to spend more on affordable items. Per reports, in October 2022, grocery prices were up 14% since the previous year. This trend has also been prevalent in stores like Walmart as we move into 2023. It is alarming that wholesalers have recently warned customers that the price hike will not be subsiding soon. Many Brooklyn Costco customers on Reddit are panicking as the store has also ostensibly raised its prices on at least 5 basic products that are unavoidable in daily life. The cost of dairy products like milk has infuriated Costco customers on Reddit the most. According to one commenter, their super milk seems to last forever. They also claimed that the prices had increased considerably as it costs much more than any local grocer. Everything is much more expensive, like vegetable oil alone, and is more than twice as expensive. According to one of the shoppers, organic milk is now $12.83 for 3 half gallons, while Wegmans sells 1 gallon for $6, which means Costco's price isn't even close. It was sad to see many customers crying over the price of butter, they said. The reported price comparison between butter at Costco and Wegmans in Brooklyn is hard to believe. Basic grocery staples like eggs are also getting pricey at Costco. The ongoing avian flu epidemic has supposedly impacted the supply of eggs. Other common grocery items that disappointed Costco customers were bacon and chicken. Some items are suffering shortages at the wholesalers' warehouses, and the scarce supplies have allowed the company to reintroduce purchasing limits for those items in many areas of the country. The reason is that not only is demand higher, but the chain is also having a difficult time with its supply chain problems with suppliers, and shortages of key ingredients in materials are leaving shelves empty. While some stockouts may be fixed soon, a long list of favorite products may never return to Costco warehouses. In addition to the shock given by the drastic changes in its product range, Costco is letting down its customers with over a dozen warehouse closings announced for 2023. According to sources, 8 stores will be shut down in Florida alone this year. The news came just after one current Costco employee shared online that management informed them in January that the company plans to phase out all food courts at the United States locations due to shrinking profits. Costco reported its worst sales levels with the dawn of the pandemic. It was reflected in the markets with the stock stooping down, and the turmoil affected the warehouse chain. Whether Costco will get through the crisis in retail intact or suffer some distressing consequences is a big question. Is this confined to Costco only? The Food Price Index of the US tracks the monthly fluctuations in the price of daily life grocery items. The major commodities that showed remarkable price change included cereals, vegetable oils, sugar, meats, and dairy products. The index listed the highest price levels in its 3-decade history in March 2022. According to the UN body's chief economist, prices won't return to normal soon. As mentioned by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, food prices have increased up to 6.4% in recent times. As of February 2023, beef and pork prices were projected by the US Department of Agriculture to rise as much as 4.7% for 2023, with processed fruit and vegetable prices expected to rise by 9.9% and eggs by 37.8%. So what could that crucial situation lead to the unusual price hike? It's been 3 years since the COVID-19 pandemic shattered our lives. Still, the outbreak continues to affect the flow of products and food. The inception of the pandemic in March 2020 disturbed local and global production, inflaming supply chain issues. You might remember how COVID-19 threatened the workers at the meatpacking plants in 2020, causing work shortages at different junctions of the food supply chain, which includes production, delivery staffing, and even delivery. Undeniably, Russia's unjustifiable and unprovoked annexation of Ukraine and escalating energy prices are the two main reasons groceries are getting more costly. But why is food price inflation so permeative and extensive? Let's have a closer look. The price variations are complicated as many factors trigger them. In some respect, the Ukraine crisis has tossed the world's food system into chaos. Undisputably, Ukraine is one of the breadbaskets in Europe. It is a proliferating land where most crops are grown and harvested for distribution to various parts of the world. Sadly, the commodities cannot get out of the country due to the existing turmoil. So, it's time for the farmers of Ukraine to prepare the land for cultivating the crops for the next season. But unfortunately, they have not been able to begin it. If these circumstances are not resolved properly, it will affect the beneficiary countries and put the consumers in trouble. The fertile soils of Ukraine have made the country the top exporter of sunflower oil, corn, and grains. It is important to note that Ukraine and Russia produce more than 25% of the global wheat supply. Around 50 countries depend on the Russian Federation and Ukraine for more than 30% of their imports. Interestingly, 20 countries have 50% of their exports hinging on Ukraine. Why is this increase in food prices a big problem? It is a serious issue because it restricts the consumable income people have to pay down on other basic needs. When you analyze the section of society most affected by this expense outburst, the poor and middle class, it is because they spend much more on basic commodities than their total spending. Though the crisis is catastrophic concerning the whole economy, the victims who would suffer the most will be those households in particular. How can we get through these waves of inflation that are swallowing a good chunk of our income? Be mindful while you shop, as grocery stores are designed to make you go through a mesmerizing circle of products before you get to the most basic items you need. And that's it for today's video. Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more informative videos. Bye for now.